Hey YouTube, apparently it's the end of December already, and that kind of really snuck up on me. So, the December Community 2024. So, Pokemon from Community Day in 2024 return for an end of year catch-a-thon event. So, we'll go over the details, and I'll talk about a bit of the history when we get to the hatch because I read through this and I was like, oh, okay, we'll get to the eggs in a second here. Um, so, Saturday, December 21st, and Sunday, December 22nd. So, a 2 to 5 p.m. window on both days. Um, so during these days, this time frame, you get these bonuses: 2 times XP, 2 times Stardust, half hatch, 2 times candy, 2 times chance of getting Candy XL, lure modules, extra trade. So like lots of good stuff here. So this is where it starts to get important, and I'll talk about the history when we get to the eggs in a second here. A different set of Pokemon will be featured on each event day: Saturday, December 21st, and the 22nd from 2 to 5. The Pokemon appeared during this time will have the same chance of appearing as a shiny Pokemon as those that appeared during their original COM day. That is a long-winded way of saying boosted shiny chance. Outside of these times, any of the featured Pokemon may appear from 9 to 9 local time on either Saturday or Sunday. So the following Pokemon will appear from Saturday on the 2 to 5: Bellsprout, Chansey, Goomy, Rowlet, Litten, and Blunsweet. Man, we have bad community days here. And then on the Sunday, Mankey, Ponyta, Galarian Ponyta, Sewaddle, Tynamo, Poplio. Wow. And then Porygon, Cynical, Bagon, and Beldum either day for the last 10 minutes of each hour between 2 to 5. So very, very narrow window to get those. And then the eggs are the 2023 Pokemon: Slowpoke, Galarian Slowpoke, Poliwag, Togepi, Wooper, Paladin Wooper, Timber, Axew, Chespin, Fennekin, Froakie, Grubbin, and Noibat. So before we get into the featured attacks, and I don't want to just like go down history all the time, but I think it's important to kind of know like what has been taken away from us over the years. So basically what's happening here is you have so the good news is outside of these times, any of the featured Pokemon may appear from 9 to 9 local time. So I actually, I actually kind of like what they're doing this before. So before, just the history is, it was basically 9 to 9, or maybe like a 9 to 5. Yeah, I think it was a 9 to 5 boosted shiny chance of not only all the Pokemon from your community day, it was every single Pokemon from past community days. So it's been like this for a few years now. So some of you may not even know, but like maybe 2021 or 2020 or 2020, basically, if it was the community day in December, you got the previous 3-4 years of Pokemon hatching. So you could get the Pokemon that from like 3 to 4 years ago, and you can get their legacy move on it. Now they changed that to this, which has been like this for a few years now. So many of you probably, unless you're older, you don't even remember or have known the old one, where it's the 2024 Pokemon are out in the wild. The 2023, the previous years are hidden in eggs, and then you only get 2 years worth of legacy moves. So again, it's kind of just like they're narrowing the scope, and I think they do that, in my opinion, because they want to do these, what do they call them? The throwback COM days, right? Where they bring back a throwback Pokemon from 2019, 2020 with their legacy move, because it's just another way for them to have a ticketed event, in my opinion. But in the past, it was just like, here's all the Pokemon, here you go. But it's not like that anymore. So basically 9 to 9, you'll have a chance to get any of these. But if you want a narrow selection with a special the event stuff here and boosted shiny, 2 to 5 for these days. Okay, so the following featured attacks will be available for these Pokemon. So these are important. And we will start talking about all of them. So some of these you 100% need, some of them you do not need at all. Some of them can go either way. So Poliwrath with counter is a must, even though Poliwrath got nerfed, right? So it's still rank 7. This is the Ultra League. In Great League, it doesn't have as much play. In Great League, it's ranked 181, but it still has a lot of play in the Ultra League, and you need that counter. So if you have a Poliwrath, I would focus on the Ultra League variation. Politoed with Ice Beam, not needed. Vic. Vic was an interesting one because it's still Razor Leaf got nerfed, but it's still often the recommended moveset. So okay, Magical Leaf, but 161 here, and it's also kind of worse in so 269. So a lot of since Magical Leaf came in, a lot of people still use Razor Leaf, but Razor Leaf damage got nerfed. So now you're in a weird spot of like the Razor Leaf damage is not as strong as you need it to be. To just be like a fast move damage Pokemon. It's still decent, but it's not as hard hitting fast move damage as you want it to be. And the Magical Leaf is an interesting one where it's like it charges decently, and the energy is okay. The damage is okay, but the charging is not super fast, and it's a 3-turn move, so it still takes you like 15 turns worth of moves to get to the Sludge Bomb. Only 12 to the Leaf Blade the first time and 3 and 9 the next time. So that's pretty good for the Leaf Blade, and that's got a good damage per energy. But if Grass is resisted and you want the Sludge, it takes a little longer to get there. And it's a Glassy Pokemon, right? Your stat product is not ideal. It's more of attack heavy. Glass cannon here, right? You can just see it's a glass cannon. So Magical Leaf has not helped this Pokemon a bunch. A bunch of people used it when it first came out, but it's not amazing. But that being said, I think if you can get a lot of Bellsprouts, I think it's actually probably worth getting one with Magical Leaf and then getting one you can just do regular with Razor Leaf, because I think both have play in certain metas. The Rapidashes with Wild Charge, I did see some Galarian, again, Galarian Ponyta and the regular Ponyta are useless in the Great League and Ultra League, but the Galarian Rapidash does have some play in limited cups. We just saw it in like the Psychic Cup. So with Wild Charge, it definitely has some play. So grab a Wild Charge on your Galarian Rapidash for sure. All the slow bros, the slow kings with Surf, these are a huge improvement on these Pokemon. Again, out in the normal Great League, they're kind of irrelevant. But the Galarians, even the normal slow bros and the Galarians, definitely show up in limited cups. So definitely, if you can, get a slow bro or get all these ones with Surf on it. Typhlosion with Blast Burn is a must. I think it probably has play in both. 103 in the Great League, probably somewhere-ish. 71 in the Ultra League. So Blast Burn is sort of a must on these Pokemon, especially with the Thunder Punch. It just made it that much better. A buff Thunder Punch now. So definitely worth getting Blast Burn. When you see, the short answer is Blast Burn, Hydro Cannon, Razor Leaf. You see it on Pokemon, you instant get it on, because those are definitely overpowered. Those are the most overpowered charge moves. Blissey, nope, irrelevant. Togekiss with Aura Sphere, not really relevant. Quagsire with Aqua Tail, I think it's almost a must. Quagsire with Aqua Tail. I love using Aqua Tail. It's the recommended movesets. It's ranked 17 and Shadow 29 as the non-Shadow. And then your second move, whether you want to use Mud Bomb or Stone Edge, that's up to you. But Aqua Tail is a must. It is very, very spammy, very strong. So definitely get that there. Outrage on Salamence, yes, it's more of like a raid attacker. Meteor Mash on Metagross, yep. Very, very niche play in Master Premier, but was one of the best raid attackers, but I know they redid that. Porygon Z, you can do it, but it's kind of useless. Conkeldurr with Brutal Swing. Yeah, this is kind of a nice move for coverage, especially in the Master League. Again, has more play in Master League Premier than anything else. Yeah, I mean, get Shadow Claw makes it better, but it's still a bad Pokemon. Still a bad Pokemon Volt Switch. Breaking Swipe on Haxorus is a must. I've seen some play in the Ultra League with Haxorus. I think most is going to be in the Master League. Yeah, down to 371. That's pretty rough. But Haxorus in the Master League, 110. Limited Master League Premier is where you're going to see Haxorus. So yeah, great Breaking Swipe on that. Frenzy, like I said, is a must. Blast Burn is a must. Hydro Cannon is a must, right? All the starters. If you got a starter Pokemon that came out in the last couple of years, you instant do it. Goodra with Thunder Punch, yes, I think it almost has play in all the leagues, maybe less so in Master, but definitely in Great League and Ultra League. It's still ranked 43 in the Master League, so that's quite good. 66 in the Ultra League, and then 46 in the Great League, yeah. Thunder Punch really just gives you that extra coverage move that you were lacking there on Goodra, so definitely worth getting that. Noibat is useless. Decidueye Frenzy, yeah, I get it, but it's still not a good Pokemon. Same with Incineroar, get it, but it's not a good Pokemon. Primarina with Hydro Cannon, yes. Vigavolt with Volt Switch. It's so funny that who cares about Vigavolt? But Grubbin that evolves into Charge Bug during this period will also know Volt Switch. So get your Charge Bugs because that is way better than Vigavolt. So Charge Bug in the Great League. High Jump Kick, kind of useless on this Pokemon. Rage Fist. Right? This was my... I said this when they unnerfed this move. And this is the exact reason that I said it. And so I feel like they still may nerf it moving forward. I said that they nerfed it, but then they unnerfed it because there is this community day here. And they want people to go out and grind for this Pokemon because it is so meta relevant. We can't just nerf it now because if we nerf it now, then people won't go out and grind and spend money and stuff trying to get this Pokemon. So they unnerfed it. So yes, it is a very, very strong move. You need it on Primeape and Annihilate. So for the Great League, for the Ultra League, maybe even the Master League. So you need a ton of resources to get this. But if it gets nerfed in the future, this is Niantic's way of saying, like, we want to nerf it, but we also want you to go play right now. So go play, and then we'll nerf it later. So just be aware that that may be an option. And then Clodsire is so funny because Clodsire's attack is Mega Horn. No, you definitely do not need to evolve to get that because, in fact, there's 3 other moves are recommended: Sludge Bomb, Stone Edge, Earthquake. But you definitely need a bunch of these Pokemon, so go hunting for that Pokemon. Research, stickers, showcases, and if you're looking for players. So, here, again, the problem is, look at the ones that are actually out here in the wild, right? Bellsprout, again, niche. Gumi, which you need for Gudra, so that is a must, but then like no. Mankey, yes. Ponyta, no. Puplio, yes for Greninja. So basically, there are, and then maybe Cyndaquil, and Beldum to a certain extent. But essentially, for PvP related purposes in the wild, there are only like 3 Pokemon you should be hunting: Gumi, Mankey, Puplio. Like, if you want the best of the best right now, go for those. Now, there's always the what happens when moves are nerfed and buffed, so you should probably be getting everything. Yes, realistically, you should be anything. Chansey will never be relevant. Some of these other Pokemon, even with good moves, maybe not relevant. But yeah, the best practice is to always just have these Pokemon evolve with their legacy moves just in case, because you never know, and you don't want to have to elite TM it later. So definitely try and just get like 1 of each, but the main focus should be the ones that are meta relevant now, and those are the ones. I hate trying to hatch eggs. So there's like huge problems with this. One is screw your egg lock, give me money strategy. But 2, then you're getting a 10 attack, which is not relevant for some of these Pokemon. Like, you want the lower attack on these meta relevant Pokemon, on these like Paladin, Wooper, and Froakie. You want the lower attack on these anyways. So it's like you can hatch them if you need excels or if you just need stuff like that, but for the most part, they're not going to be what you need for IVs in the Great League and Ultra League. Anyways, that is it. This is a very, very easy event for me to skip, right? And it comes down to a few things. When there is a very GBL related community day, I try to make a priority to go out and get it. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, even some of these Pokemon, it's not like they made their debut here. It's not even like they made their shiny debut here. Gumi, Mankey, Puplio. So I already had like a ton of candies and a ton of Pokemon for these that I could just go out for like 20 minutes, get maybe a good IV, and then just evolve them, all of the ones I already had. So to reboot again these Pokemon, I get it. The community day, if you missed a bunch of community days, or you didn't get a good IV, you want to go IV hunting, or you want to go shiny hunting, this is a great event. This was always one that I used to go out and grind all day for. But that, again, that was like back in the day when it was like 2019, 2020, and you can like get 4 years worth of Pokemon that you're trying to grind. And they didn't give out shinies back then like they give them now. Like, for those of you who do not know, now it's like if you don't get like 5 shinies in 30 minutes, you're like freaking out. What is this not on? There were times where community days were 3 hours, usually 11 to 2 back in the day. But you could grind for 3 hours and get like 2 shinies. Like, go hard and get 2 shinies. The shiny rate was super low back then. But now it's just like you go out for 20 minutes and you're like, okay, delete. I've got a bunch of you already. So it's definitely changed from that perspective. Some like it more, some like it less. There's always I always say shinies are cool for some people. Like, some people just want to collect shinies. Some people want it for their deck. Some people are, trying to do like a shiny decks and stuff like that. So getting a new shiny is always good. I'm not a shiny hunter, but I'm always under the assumption that like, if everyone has it, who cares, right? If everyone has this shiny because it's a community day and you get like 20 shinies during the community day, who cares? But again, some people are just like, I want it in my decks. I like it. I want it in my inbox. Like, sure, that's to each their own. But for me, it's just like, if everyone has it, then who cares? Which is a very, this is very, very, very off topic. So please hit the thumbs up button and leave if you don't want to get into the random thoughts here. But it gets down to, I forget what is officially called, but it's one of those, it's not good enough for me to win, everyone else has to lose mentalities of people, where they've done like, they've done studies, and it's like, do you want to have a huge house but be the smallest house on your block, or do you want to have a big house, like not even a big house, but like an okay size house, but be the biggest house on your street because you just got smaller houses on your street? And the majority of people will like, I want the smaller house but bigger than everyone else, because it's like people just have like the need to have stuff and have like a status that others don't have. So maybe that's like my mentality, is like, who cares if it's a shiny, if everyone else has it? Like, we're all even anyways. But then the others will say like, no, you should be like focusing on the actual item as opposed to like the relative comparison to others. I find like humans fascinating. This is why I'm gonna do like I'll check my year-end video. I haven't made it yet, but it'll come out sometime between Christmas and New Year's. We're gonna talk about like different channels and stuff, because I'm like more interested in a lot of other things than I am Pokemon Go at this point. So I think about just doing other channels as well, which will affect how many videos I can do here, but we'll talk about it. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.